kay President Duterte sa nangyayari sa ating bayan. Napakahalaga yung pagpapasalamat ko sa mga dasal ninyo. Madami ang nagdadasal at malaking tulong yon ang dasal dahil nagbibigay yon ng lakas ng loob sa lahat ng pinagdadaanan ngayon ni President Duterte. Pangalawa,
the UAE is not a state party to the ICC and has no obligation to cooperate with the court. Yet my client sat in transit in that country for more than 5 hours. I invite the registry's representative to present today in court to explain to the judges exactly how they believe this transfer was anything other than a gross abuse of process.
Proceedings. We have come to the end of Mr. Duterte's first appearance hearing. I would like to thank all the participants in this hearing, the interpreters, and the stenographers. This concludes today's hearing. I would like firstly to confirm your identity. Could you provide us with your full names, please?
I am Rodrigo Roa Duterte. That's my first middle name is Roa. The surname is Duterte.
Morning mga kasama, ito po yung live kagabi, na talaga naman nabulaga, nagulat yung mga judge ng ICC dito sa statement ni Secretary Medaldea. Ibang klase ho yung binigay niya statement para ipagtanggol ang ating Pangulo. So malaki ang tsansa natin dito at malaki ang paniniwala natin dito na si Pangulong Duterte mabibigyan ng pagkakataon. Sana umasa tayo at ipagdasal natin na makauwi agad ang dating Pangulo. Ito po yung statement nila. Ito yung live hearing.
Good morning. I would like to welcome everyone inside and outside of the courtroom. Now, before we start with today's initial appearance, I would like to remind you that the Chamber has authorized video recordings and the taking of photographs. Please go ahead. Thank you. You have 1 minute to take photographs and record videos.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Court officer, could you please call the case? Thank you, Madam President. Your Honours. The situation in the Republic of the Philippines case, the prosecutor versus Mr. Rodrigo Roa Duterte, case number ICC 0121-0125. And we are in open session.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. I will now ask the parties to introduce themselves, starting with the Office of the Prosecutor. Please pause before speaking and speak slowly to allow the interpreters to interpret appropriately. May I ask you to introduce yourself and to confirm whether the list of your staff that I received prior to the hearing is correct, Mr. Prosecutor?
Your Honours, good morning. The list is correct. Once again, Deputy Prosecutor Manjay Niang to my left, trial lawyer Edward Jeremy behind us, trial lawyer Robin Croft, international cooperation advisor Chantel Daniels, and our very able case manager Grace Go. I'm Karim Khan, the prosecutor.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. I now turn to the counsel for the defence of Mr. Duterte. As everyone can see, Mr. Duterte is present and is attending the hearing via video link. As Mr. Duterte made a long journey involving a considerable time difference, the Chamber authorized Mr. Duterte to follow the hearing at a distance. His counsel, however, is present with us in the courtroom. Thank you, counsel. Please introduce yourself.
Good afternoon, Your Honours. I am Salvador C. Medaldea, counsel for Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, counsel. I will now introduce the chamber. By my side, we have the Judge Maria Judge Rain Adelaide Sophie Alapine Gansu, the Vice President of the Court, and Judge Maria del Socorres Flores Liera. I am the presiding judge of the Pretrial Chamber 1 of the Court, and my name is Julia Antoinella Motok. Now, I would like to speak to you, Mr. Duterte. I'm speaking French, but you are receiving an interpretation of what I'm saying in English. I understand that you are at ease in the English language and that the interview yesterday at the detention center was conducted in English and that you did not deem it necessary to request interpretation into any other language during this interview. This said, I would like firstly to confirm your identity. Could you provide us with your full names, please?
I am Rodrigo Roa Duterte. That's my first middle name is Roa. The surname is Duterte.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. What is your date of birth?
Again, ma'am.
Can we request that the question be repeated? I don't think he heard it. Thank you.
Repetition from the English booth. What is your date of birth? Yes, thank you very much, counsel. I was asking quite simply of Mr. Duterte what his full names were, and then I subsequently asked him what his date of birth was and what his place of birth is. Is that all right, counsel?
Yep. Of course, I do. My birth month this day is March 28, 1945.
Lapit na yung birthday ni
I
Tatay
was
Digong.
born in the province of Leyte in the Philippines.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. As a preliminary point, very well, thank you, Mr. Duterte. As a preliminary point, it is useful to clarify the nature and limited scope of this first appearance hearing. Today's hearing is neither the start of the trial, nor is it a confirmation of charges hearing. During today's hearing, no evidence will be collected or presented, and the issues of Mr. Duterte's guilt or innocence will therefore not be addressed. In accordance with Article 61 of the Rome Statute, the Court's founding treaty, and Rule 1211 of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence, the main purpose of this initial appearance is to answer three questions. Firstly, the Chamber must ensure that the person who was the subject of the arrest warrant has been informed of the crimes of which he is accused.
Ayan na. Yan ang tanong ng mga judge. Na-inform ba si Tatay Digong na may warrant of arrest siya? Di ba hindi? Tinatago sa kanya. Matagal nang tinatago. Yun ang tanong ng judge. May laban po tayo dito. Pangalawa, ito sana sagutin ni Miguel Dea, ito yung magandang statement. Papakinggan natin yan.
Second, the Chamber must ensure that this person has been informed of his rights as recognized by the Rome Statute. Third, the Chamber must set a date on which it intends to hold a confirmation of charges hearing.
Nako, yun ang hindi alam ni Tatay Digong. Di ba? Binigla siya eh. Sige, tuloy.
The Chamber notes that your counsel, Mr. Duterte, filed two motions, one in relation with today's hearing. And you may be aware that these two motions have not been accepted by the Chamber because of the nature of today's hearing. No further discussion on the matter is necessary during this hearing because, as I said at an earlier stage, the aim of this hearing today is to introduce the parties and to ascertain the charges and to set a date for the confirmation of charges hearing at a later stage. With regard to the first point, I recall that Mr. Duterte has received a copy of the warrant for his arrest and that a redacted version of the prosecution's application for the issuance of the warrant of arrest is public. I will now...
di ba? Hindi nila pinablik yung issuean ng warrant of arrest. Meron naman tayong laban dito. Malaki ang paniniwala natin, mga kasama. Oo. Sana mabigyan na kagad ng desisyon ito Tuloy lang natin.
Ask the court officer to read the charges against him. The charges will be read in English. Please, over to you, Madam Courtroom Officer. Thank you, Madam President. Your honours.
On 7 March 2025, pre-trial Chamber 1 concluded that there were reasonable grounds to believe that Mr. Dutet is criminally responsible pursuant to Article 25(3)(a) of the Rome Statute.
March 7, 2025. Doon dumating yung warrant of arrest. Pero, March 11 lang, nang binigla si Tatay Digong dito. Meron na naman problema doon.
Alleged indirect co-perpetrator for the crime against humanity of murder pursuant to Article 7(1)(a) of the statute as follows. A. Murder of at least 19 persons, allegedly drug pushers or thieves, killed by members of the Davao Death Squad in various locations in or around Davao City, Philippines between 2011 and 2016. B. Murder of at least 24 persons, allegedly criminals, such as drug pushers or thieves or drug users, killed by or under the supervision of members of the Philippines law enforcement, sometimes with the assistance of persons who were not part of the police, at various locations in the Philippines between 2016 and 2019.
Merci beaucoup, Madame.
Thank you, Madam Courtroom Officer. Mr. Duterte, I'm not going to ask you to stand up because I know your condition, so I'm going to allow you to remain seated. You have just heard the reading of the charges, which are in accordance with the content of the arrest warrant you received. This means that you have been informed of the crimes of which you are accused. And this concludes the examination of the first point mentioned above. I will now turn to the second point, which concerns your rights as a suspect before this court. I will summarize some of these rights, which are of particular importance at this stage of the proceedings. Those rights are as follows. You can benefit from the assistance free of charge of a competent interpreter and benefit from the necessary translations to meet the requirements of fairness. You have the right to have the time and facilities necessary to prepare your defense and to communicate freely and confidentially with the counsel of your choice. You have the right to remain silent, and you cannot be forced to testify against yourself or to confess guilt. You can also make statements in your defense without taking an oath. In addition to any other disclosure provided for in the statute, the prosecutor must disclose to you, as soon as practicable, evidence in his possession or at his disposal that shows or tends to show your innocence or to mitigate your guilt, or that could undermine the credibility of the evidence against you. At the confirmation of charges hearing, you can contest the charges, challenge the evidence presented by the prosecutor, and present evidence. There will be no trial if the charges are not confirmed or if the proceedings against you are completed. You have the possibility to make an application for interim release pending trial. And finally, Mr. Duterte, you have the right to be informed as soon as possible and in detail of the nature, cause, and content of the charges in the language that you fully understand and speak. Counsel, have you understood?
Yes, we're listening, ma'am. We're listening. And before it ends, may we be allowed to present a manifestation on the circumstances behind the delivery of Mr. Duterte in this chamber.
Oui, Maître, je dois d'abord demander...
Yes, counsel. This is as part of the procedure. And as we've said since the very outset, I need to ask Mr. Duterte himself to make observations as to the condition of his surrender to the court and the conditions of his detention at the detention facility of the court since his arrival. If he can please tell us these details.
Thank you. Can I...
Oui, Maître. Oui.
The presiding judge. Yes, counsel.
Please. 2 days ago, the whole world has witnessed the degrading fashion in which a former president of a sovereign country was bundled into a private aircraft and summarily transported to The Hague. To us lawyers, this would be called an extrajudicial rendition. To the less legally inclined, it was a pure and simple kidnapping. My client was denied all access to the legal recourse in the country of his citizenship, and this all in the nature of political score settling. Two troubled entities struck an unlikely alliance, an incumbent president who wished to neutralize and choke the legacy of my client and his daughter on the other hand, and a troubled legal institution subject to delegitimization and desperate for a price cuts and a legal show today on the other hand. With this in mind, it is not surprising that my client was abducted from his country. ICC private jets do not drop out of the thin air. That jet which received my client was coordinated in advance. The UAE is not a state party to the ICC and has no obligation to cooperate with the court. Yet my client sat in transit in that country for more than 5 hours. I invite the registry's representative to present today in court to explain to the judges exactly how they believe this transfer was anything other than a gross abuse of process. Given the precipitous arrival of my client, an elderly man with debilitating medical issues, hard of hearing and poor of sight, he was taken to a hospital for observation. Only this morning have I met him for the first time with less than an hour to discuss legal issues. I have not been able to present him with a hard copy of the arrest warrant because we were not supplied with such. I have not even been able to explain to him what the prosecution requested when seeking the issuance of the arrest warrant. This is because the chamber only established a redacted version of the prosecution request last night. Other than to identify himself, my client is not able to contribute anything to this hearing. Most importantly, he is not able even to tell you that he has been informed of the charges as contained in the arrest warrant for a reason more pertinent to which I alluded in my written request to this honorable pretrial chamber this morning, and which is confidential in nature. Accordingly, I repeat my respectful request, which was rejected this morning, to postpone the substantive aspect of this hearing to the next week, when I will have the opportunity to sit with my client and to explain to him what a confirmation hearing is and what the disclosure is and how the prosecution alleges that he committed crimes. I thank the court for its attention and regret to say that I do not have instructions to continue my submission any further today. Thank you.
D'abord, concernant...
Thank you, Counsel. Now, with regard to the health issues of Mr. Duterte, I believe that the court has taken specific measures with regard to his health situation. And I note that subsequent to his arrest and when he arrived at the detention center, the court's doctor was of the opinion that you were fully mentally aware and fit, and that you have undergone further checks and tests at the detention facility. And when you broached health matters, that's saying that you were not able to come to the hearing, the doctors who consulted with you were of the opinion that Mr. Duterte was not in a position to come to the hearing physically, but that if he gave a written permission, he would be able to take part via video link. Now, that is with regard to the health matters that you just mentioned. They are very important, especially concerning the matter of age. Now, with regard to the rights of Mr. Duterte, we have before us the registrar's or the registry's report that says that Mr. Duterte has been informed of his rights, including Articles 66 and 67 of the Rome Statute, and that that he is aware of his rights and that he is also aware of the charges against him. We have before us the report of the registry saying that he was also aware of the warrant of arrest in the English language and that he is very well versed in the English language. Once again, you have the possibility of these charges being read in English, which was the case today. I have read to you in the French language the rights that he has, Mr. Duterte, before this court. And I'd like to specify once again that this is an initial hearing. in order for Mr. Duterte to be aware of his rights and the charges against him. And then there will be a full procedure that will unfurl leading up to the confirmation of charges that will enable Mr. Duterte to raise all the matters that you have just raised with regard to the warrant of arrest, with regard to the crimes committed, with regards to the charges and any other matters associated with his arrest and the matters of jurisdiction of the court. You have the opportunity to do this throughout these proceedings leading up to the actual confirmation of charges hearing. Now, counsel, with regard to your request for another hearing to be held next week, well, your initial request, that was, this was not accepted by the court. Now, you have seen the two decisions of the court that have been disclosed to you, and you are aware of the fact that these two decisions were refused. And this is by dint of the fact that this first initial appearance hearing does not need much preparation, as I have said to you on a number of occasions. I am now going to move on to the third stage, which is to set the date for the confirmation of charges hearing. After assessing all factors, including the need for the parties and participants to adequately prepare, as well as Mr. Duterte's rights, including his right to be tried within a reasonable time, the date for the commencement of the confirmation of charges hearing is September the 23rd, 2025. I would add that in accordance with Rule 1217 of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence, this date may be postponed by the Chamber depending on the progress of the proceedings, either on its own motion or at the request of the prosecutor or the defence. Before concluding this hearing, I would like to inform the parties of the next procedural steps. First, I would like to recall that in accordance with Rule 1212B of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence, the Chamber holds status conferences to ensure a small exchange of information under satisfactory conditions. These conferences are organised either ex officio or at the request of the prosecutor or the defence. Secondly, a set of decisions will be taken in a timely manner to ensure that the proceedings progress smoothly and expeditiously. More specifically, I am referring in particular to a decision on the arrangements and procedure for the disclosure of evidence, and a decision setting a timetable for the disclosure of evidence in such a way as to ensure orderly and efficient disclosure between the parties. In this regard, the Chamber orders the prosecutor to begin disclosing today the information on the basis of which the warrant of arrest was issued, and to complete this disclosure no later than within the next 7 days. The Chamber will also issue a decision on the participation of the victims who, according to the statute of the court and to the extent permitted by the Chamber, are authorised to present their views and concerns at this stage of the proceedings. We have come to the end of Mr. Duterte's first appearance hearing. I would like to thank all the participants in this hearing, the interpreters and the stenographers. This concludes today's hearing.
You just heard from the lead judge there at the ICC, Julia Antonella Montoc. It was clinical.
Ang bilis. Ang bilis, ganun lang yung preliminary, pre-trial. Ibig sabihin, malaki ang tsansa natin dito, malaki ang laban natin dito na mapauwi agad si Tatay Digong. So hindi mo naman makikitaan ng bias yung mga judge, no? So sinabi nila yung hinihiling ni yung abogado ni Tatay Digong, hindi mapagbibigyan, pero sa susunod na trial sa September 23, lilitisin ang unang paglilitis na siguro. Sana pagdasal lang natin at syempre, huwag tayong bibitaw, marami tayong kakampi, mga kaibigan natin sa ibang bansa, migrante o FW, yan ang mga pag-asa natin. Diba? Kita nyo naman. At saka marami na hong dumadalo. Yung mga taga-Europe, may nagko-comment sa akin na nagsisidatingan na sila dito sa ICC Detention Center para sa pagsuporta. At nakita nyo naman si BP Sara kahapon at si Atty. Halo Roque at si Senador Robin Padilla, ando na po sila. So yung suporta at si Si Kong Pulong, andun na rin po. Salamat, no? At nabibigyan na ng linaw, nabibigyan na ng pag-asa itong ginawa nila kay Tatay Digong. Nagulat din tayo, no? Siguro yung judge nagulat din dahil bigla-bigla nga na bigla-bigla na lang sinakay, 'di ba? Wala man lang pasabi, March 7 pa pala dumating yung yung warrant of arrest, nilihim nila. O di magaling din sila mag-ibento ng istorya, 'di ba? Ang gusto nila madala si Tatay Digong sa ICC, pero wala silang magagawa dahil ang taong bayan na po ang kusa, Ako nagkukusa mga kasama ang taong bayan. Hindi ho sila walang bayad dito, hindi uso ang bayad dito. Kasi doon sa kabila, dumami lang ang tao, bayad ang iniisip. Ito, pakita natin 'to. Wala. Bakit? Tingnan nga natin.
In our country.
Ayun, si
And that
Bibi
is-
Sara.
Yes, that is the poverty, that is corruption, that is
Diba?
the failure of the government to answer the demands from the people about accountability and transparency, and the failure of the government to address peace and security in our country.
Tama.
So, because I wanted to give it airtime. I wanted to give the flowers airtime.
Yung mga flowers, binigyan pa si Bibi Sara.
I don't know who gave this, but the people who gave this made efforts to go to a flower shop and buy flowers. So
Salamat
I wanted
po
to give
sa
it
nabigyan ng
airtime,
flowers.
just to say thank you to those who took time to buy flowers. They know I love flowers, so thank you.
How is this healthy? Now, she will now address the Filipino community from the video.
Dito sa
Okay, because this is a media. Okay.
Ano po question, ma'am?
So,
Sa kaanak
una tayo.
sa may nakaiyak ka sa nepa ng bata.
I don't think
Ewan, magbiro si Bibi Sara.
So, dap muna tayo. May ano tayo doon yung... Wait, sino mag-guide? Sandali po.
Pinagkaguluhan na si Bibi Sara. Dami. Mga Pilipino. Iba't ibang part ng mundo. Nagsidating nga na. Pag yan ang nakita ng ICC judges, for sure mga kasama.
Ma'am, i-excuse
Ito ang hearing.
para makatayo sa media.
Ate mo, yung si Bibi Sara, bagot na bagot talaga. Walang kaarte-arte. Walang kaarte-arte ang BP.
James, ang mic, James.
Nakaiyak mo.
Ma'am, okay na, ma'am.
Okay. Yes. Unang-una, nagpapasalamat ako sa inyong lahat, sa inyong pagpapakita ng suporta dito, at sa ating mga kababayan na nandun sa Pilipinas. Nagpapasalamat ako sa pagpapakita nila na galit. At sa nangyari kay President Duterte, sa nangyayari sa ating bayan. Napakahalaga yung pagpapasalamat ko sa mga dasal ninyo. Madami ang nagdadasal at malaking tulong yon ang dasal dahil nagbibigay yon ng lakas ng loob sa lahat ng pinagdadaanan ngayon ni President Duterte. Pangalawa, madami sa inyo ang hindi nagtrabaho ngayon.
Tama.
Galing ng Belgium.
Yan o.
Germany.
Kita mo, mga seaman.
Mabuhay kayo, sir. Meron pang galing Amerika. At kanina, meron akong nakausap na maliit na grupo dito, kaninang umaga. Sabi ko sa kanila, napakahalaga ng inyong mga trabaho, kaya huwag ninyong pabayaan.
Euro is nothing without our ex-president!
Yes, dahil alam ko, breadwinners kayo lahat. Hindi ko gusto magsapalaran sa ibang bansa, maiwan ang pamilya nila doon sa ating bayan. Pero napakahalaga yung trabaho ninyo at yung pag-alaga ninyo sa inyong mga mahal sa buhay na nasa Pilipinas. Alalahanin natin, napakahalaga yung edukasyon nila. Kailangan natin sa ulit-ulit sabihin sa kanila na yun ang magpapabago sa buhay nila, ang edukasyon nila. So maraming salamat dahil it is heartwarming na kahit mawalan kayo ng trabaho, mawalan kayo ng sweldo sa isang araw, mabawasan ang inyong leave.
Magaling ka ng mga asawa.
At meron po sa inyo ay nakapag-absent kahit wala ng leave. Mahal ko kayo. Kaya meron po kaming imbitasyon sa inyo, paanyaya sa inyo na tayo ay magsama-sama sa March 23. Sabi ko ng mga the Netherlands ay Sunday po yan. At sabi ko kanina sa mga kasama natin na kababayan dito, sabi ko, Friday, Saturday, maglaban na kayo. Dahil Sunday, magkita-kita tayo sa March 23.
Ayan po pakiusap, si VP Sara na po ang nagmensahe sa mga taga-Europe. Huwag niyo pong pabayaan si VP Sara. Sama-sama po kayo. Pumunta po kayo dyan sa suporta at alam nyo na sarili nyo na talaga ang mga Duterte, si VP Sara at si Tatay Digong ay nagbigay ng pag-asa. Suporta natin.
Location mo. Dito po, sa Netherlands. Hindi ko lang alam kung sa Amsterdam, sa A, pero dito siya sa Netherlands.
Saan siya yan? Saan siya i-post mo? Asa siya i-post?
Ano na alam ko, meron kasi kayong mga group leaders.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Sige. Okay, that's nice.
Meron pong ginagawang meeting. Hapon may ginawang meeting. Di bali po, sasabihin ko sa kanila na i-post nila publicly para kahit hindi miyembro ng grupo ay alam nila kung saan sila.
Dami! Woo! Ate po rin yan, no?
Kami po plan na hindi kayo umaalis.
Ate po rin yan.
Para po sa mga Pilipino sa Pilipinas, ma'am.
Gusto ko lang ulitin kasi kanina masyadong malayo yung iba. Hindi niyo narinig kung ano yung mensahe ni Pangulong Duterte. Sabi po niya, dahil sinabi ko, madami ang nasaktan. Madami ang umiiyak. Madami ang galit. Sinabi ko, mahalaga, madami ang nag-absent. Ano ang gusto mo ipaabot sa kanila? Ang una niyang tanong is nandyan sila sa labas. Oo, nandyan sila sa labas. Sabi niya, hindi ko man lang sila makausap at makamusta. Sabi ko, darating tayo dyan. Pero sabi ko, ibigay mo muna ngayon sa akin ang mensahe mo para sa kanila. So sinabi niya, unang-una, relax lang. May hangganan ang lahat. There is a day of reckoning. Yan ang kanyang mensahe.
Bababag daw, pinakulat ka na sa gawas.
Magpresidente, ma'am! Magpresidente, ma'am! Magpresidente, ma'am!
Okay, naalala ko na. Tinanong ko din siya. Kasi masakit sa akin na nakikita na umiyak kayo. Yes! Masakit sa akin yun. Kasi, alam niyo yun, parang, hindi naman kasi dapat ginagawa sa inyo yan. Ano yun? Hindi dapat siya ginagawa sa inyo yan. Kasi tinanong ko siya. Sabi ko, ano ba ang mensahe mo sa mga umiiyak? Kasi nasasaktan ako kapag nakikita ko na umiiyak sila. Tapos sabi niya, eh, umiyak ka din. So usual na, alam niyo na, yung sabi niya, eh, umiyak ka din. And sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, wala akong masasolve na problema kung iiyak ako. Sabi ko, ano lang, kailangan ko lang ngayon ay ang mensahe mo sa kanila para hindi, mabigat sa loob, sa damdamin nila. At sinabi niya na, as a Filipino, I never surrendered my country. Sinabi niya, wala kayong masabi na meron akong Pilipino na binigay sa mga Taino. Yun ang mensahe niya, nung tinanong ko siya kung ano ang specific mo na mensahe sa mga umiiyak. Parang hindi ata yun papatigil sa iyak niyo. Unfortunately, yun ang mensahe niya. Yun ang sentiments niya na gusto niya daw malaman ninyo na hindi niya daw talaga sa lahat ng kanyang pagtatrabaho para sa ating bansa, ibinigay ang ating bansa sa mga Pilipino. Yes, ma'am. Sabi ko nga kanina dito sa interview na sinabi naman niya, tell them I am okay. I just miss Filipino food. Hindi ito Pilipinas na pwede ka magdala. Kain special shout out sa naghahawak ng ating speaker dahil kakaintindihan dito kung wala si Sir.
Di ka na Samoa na, sa Germany pa na, di ka Samoa na.
So, gikan daw na sa Germany.
Samo Restaurant.
Nagkasalamat. Kung saan pangalan sa restaurant?
El Sol Restaurant sa Berlin. El Sol Restaurant, ma'am. El Sol Restaurant sa Berlin. Yes, ma'am.
El Sol Restaurant sa Berlin.
Let's go!
Yes, oo. Siguro when we meet sa 23, pamutan na din may tanong dito about the birthday ni President Duterte sa March 28. Siguro, pag nakita-kita tayo sa 23, it will be a very casual meet and greet para sa inyong lahat. I'm sure gusto niyo ng mga chismis. Pero isa din sa pumunta ko, mga chismis talaga mo. Grabe kasi sila ang mga Pilipino. Daghan sa magsilingan, mag-away tungkol sa chismis. Daghan ang madala sa barangay tungkol kay nag-away sa intriga. So, manasan ako ang birthday. So, sa 23, maybe we can discuss what you want to do sa March 28. Actually, hindi ko din alam kasi hindi ko nakausap ang doktor. Nakiusap ako kanina kung pwede ba umupo kami, nandiyan si President Duterte, ako at yung doktor, para lang mapag-usapan kung ano ang plano ng doktor. Pero hindi kasi ganun kadali doon sa loob yung mga ganun na bagay. Kaya sabi ko sa kanya, Papa, kung may nararamdaman ka, sabihin mo sa kanila. Huwag mo sabihin na okay ka lang. Kasi alam niyo naman si PRD, macho yung, macho yung image niya, di ba? Lalaking-lalaki na magtataka ka na lang na namatay na kasi hindi nagpapatay. Sino ang ganun ang tatay? Ang diretso na lang ng stage 4 cancer dahil simula nung pinanganak siya hanggang nagkasakit siya, hindi siya nag-check up. So, sabi ko sa kanya, huwag mong itago. Kung may nararamdaman ka, sabihin mo sa doktor. At tinanong ko naman, ma'am, sabi ko, 24 hours ba ang doktor ninyo? Sabi naman sa akin, yung security, 24 hours daw yung doktor nila. At syempre yung healthcare personnel ay 24 hours. Yes!
Ayun po ka na maging presidente.
Ang akin kasi ba, here ko, do we still have a country by 2020? Going right now, hindi ko alam, palubog ng palubog ng palubog.
Ma'am Sara, we need you!
Pero alam nyo, matiwala lang kayo sa Diyos. Dahil, makikita nyo na lahat ng bagay ay merong purpose. Hindi nyo kaagad siya nakikita. Hindi nyo kaagad siya nakikita the moment na nangyayari siya. Pero kapag nangyari na yung bagay o yung purpose para sa ginawa sa iyo ng tadhana o ng Diyos, ay maiintindihan mo na kung ano yung plano niyo. Bigyan ko kayo ng example na ganito, na sinasabi ko, everything has a purpose. Last year, nabalitaan niyo yung nagbiyahe ako ng Munich, di ba? Yung binanatan nila ako ng binanatan, dahil nagbiyahe ako papuntang Munich. Ang anak ko, nagsabi siya sa akin, Mama, gusto ko manood ng Taylor Swift concert. Di ba pila yung magbibili ng ticket sa online? So sabi ko sa kanya, mag-strategize ka. Sabi ko, doon ka tumila sa tingin mo, kukunti lang ang doon sa Singapore. So sabi ko sa kanya, sa tingin ko, konti lang ang pipila sa Munich. So sabi ko sa kanya,
Maginaw kasi mga kasama, maginaw.
Magaling tayo sa skincare, ha? Ito muna. At yung mga plano niya sa buhay natin. So, sabi ko sa kanya, sa Munich ka pumila. So pumila ang anak ko sa Munich. And truly na, nanalo siya sa ticket. Sa pila. So nabigyan siya ng ticket. At yun ang time na nag-apply kami ng Schengen visa. So, nabigyan ako ng Schengen visa na valid until ngayon. That is the reason na mag-isa ako dito ngayon. Dahil lahat sila walang Schengen visa. Ako lang. Ako lang ang may Schengen visa. Hindi ma'am, I'm here as a tourist. I use the ordinary passport. So,
No!
Skincare. Unang-una, kailangan nyo ng sunblock. So, ang sunblock ko ay yung sunstick ng Nature Republic Korea brand. Kaya nyo ang una ilalagay.
Ito isang halimbawa lang to. Ito nyo naman, napakasimple ng ating BP Sara, di ba? Talagang pinuntahan siya, meron taga-Amerika, lumipad, meron taga-Germany, lumipad, nag-byland, marami. Iba't ibang part ng Europe eh kung tayo nga lang 'di ba? Pwedeng mag-teleport eh. Malay mo, 'di ba? Hindi pa natin alam. Pero sana susubukan ko, susubukan natin. Baka mag-teleport tayo eh, di mas maganda. 'Di ba hanggang sa muli mga kasama at aasa tayo nakita nyo sa saya ng ating mga Pilipino na makasama si BP Sara at naniniwala tayo yung mga judges ng ICC mawawalang bisa na yung yung binibintang sa kanya. Alam mo kung sino nagkalulu sa kanya? Pilipino rin. 'Di ba? Pilipino ang nagkanulo. Walang kaalam-alam itong mga ICC na ganun palang ginawa kay Tatay Digong. So hanggang sa muli abang-abang lang tayo sa ating mga daily upload. Bye-bye.